Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team Career here on the PC with Cadillac. Tonight it's round 4 of our first season. It is the 2026 Bahrain Grand Prix. Apparently I'm only streaming at 720p. Not something I'm going to be able to change now that we're live, but I will certainly look into that for tomorrow. Thank you very much for that, Wayne. Hello to everyone in the chat. We've got B-Rad, Dino, Wayne, and everyone else who's lurking. It is time for round 4 of our brand new series here, and tonight we head to Sakir for the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're 9 days away. We have some pit crew training to do to get us started. We're not quite ready for a weather forecast yet. We do have some upgrades in the works. As you can see, we've got a chassis that is just about 2.5 weeks away from being able to build. We're just over about 3.5 weeks away from the suspension, and we just started design projects on front and rear wings as well before we finished last night. We are in a situation where both of our drivers are going to face engine penalties at some point in this season. We had a big shunt for Checo in the opening Grand Prix at Australia, and we had a really big rear end moment where Antonelli locked up and steamrolled into us last night at Suzuka. So both drivers with some very damaged engine components already, and we are a long way to go until the end of the season. So yeah, we are definitely going to have to face some penalties at some point, but we'll deal with that when we come to it. Instead, we are going to try and continue to spend our money in the short term on improving our pretty poor car. As you can see, it's not looking great, and despite that, we have had a couple of good results. Again, this is mainly down to trying to figure out the new tyre model and safety cars wrecking AI strategies. If we get a clean race tonight, I don't think we're going to score any points at all. I don't even think we'll be close to scoring points at all around this circuit. We shall see. We shall see how things go. Let's get our pit crew training plotted in to get us started. So we need to start thinking about car building at some point, but we are going to continue to get these stats up a little bit higher and really try and work on bringing this stop time down. So we're going to start the month with some intense gym training here, just to try and work on bringing that speed down. Keeping an eye on our fatigue level so we don't go in a little bit overtired into the Grand Prix weekend. We're at 9%, which is kind of the ideal target, but for the day before. So yeah, we're slightly overcooked. Let's take the afternoon out. Where does that leave us? At 6%. Yeah, it's not ideal. So can we do something else? Maybe if we throw in a little bit of car building for the day, that is more acceptable, I think, to get to 1%. I'm happy at 1% because it's not a sprint weekend. So yeah, we'll do that, and then when we come out, we'll go into our more regular kind of split training. Pretty well balanced on our individual skills now, so we don't have to worry about focusing in on any particular area. Okay, still got a little bit of wiggle room left before we go to Saudi Arabia. And that's kind of bang on almost. Let's actually make that a full day of gym training. And this one as well. And then we're at 9%. We get that maximum 9% clearance down to 0, and then we go into the Grand Prix weekend. So that's perfect. And then as we come out, we will again try and focus on our gym training a little bit more. We really do need to work on dialing that speed down. And we can just about get away with half a day there as well. We always want to make sure we are under 25% going into the next month. There we go. Evening, Victor. So that's the pit crew training plotted in. Got 3.3 mil in the bank, which I'm trying to decide whether or not to spend some of it. We are upgrading our memorabilia room. I can't afford a race sim upgrade, but what about a team hub? That's 2.2. I don't really want to spend that much money. Don't need to worry about scouts. I think we'll just hang on to it for now. I have this a tendency to try and spend the money as quickly as possible. Maybe we should just keep a little bit more in reserve than normal this season, especially with our upcoming bills at some point. Let's check the inbox. So we know we have a low stock of suspension. We are building some more, I think, or was that the spare? I have a spare of everything, which is important. Just quickly head to our mentality. So most of our guys are just kind of bleh. Javi is actually miserable. This is why I'm maybe thinking about a team hub upgrade, just to cheer these miserable buggers up a bit. We'll hang on to the money for now. Am I building stuff still? Yes, we've got another chassis and suspension coming, so that's good. Let's see what the new regulations are going to be for next season, or the potential regulations for next season are going to be. So, high-speed downforce changes or low-speed downforce changes. Let's take a quick look. First off at... Well, that's not really much help, but I think we are closer on low-speed than we are on high-speed. But let's take a look at our staff, so we can see what kind of impact that will have with our staffing. So, I think this is where we need to look. Yes, it is. So, high-speed downforce and well, it's about the same, isn't it? So, I don't think it's going to make a huge difference. Let's go with low speed, I think. Evening, Marcel. So let's see how the rest of the grid vote. See if anyone votes with us on that. I think more often than not it ends up being high-speed changes. But as you can see, it's going to affect multiple parts. So suspension, underfloor, rear wing, and front wing. So we are going to have to put some definite, thought into where we want to put our ATR hours for the rest of the season to try and cover off those regulation changes. We won't be hit as big as some of the teams because our performance is lower, but by the same token, just because we're not going to take as big of a hit doesn't mean we're not going to suffer. Yeah, I'll have to think about where we want to put those hours, because I still want to try and improve this car this year as well. That is our spare suspension. So there we go. We have 3 in the warehouse now. And same for the chassis. We now have a spare chassis. This is the current standings in the Drivers' Championship. Charles Leclerc leads by 1 point from Lando Norris. And Oscar sits in 3rd with Russell, who I thought would do really well last night and just was nowhere. Finished 4th, is in 4th, tied with Max. Max in 5th. Then it's Hamilton. Albon, who's been pretty good so far at the start of this season, consistently scoring good points. Yuki Tsunoda, with that wonderful podium last night, is up to 8th from Hulkenberg. Valtteri in 10th, mainly down to that incredible end of race moment with Australia, where we're actually battling Albon for the podium in the dying laps. Antonelli sits in 12th, 11th, Hadjar in 12th. There is the rest of the order. And then in the constructors, it's McLaren top by 7 points from Ferrari. Mercedes quite a way back in 3rd. They have had a real trouble scoring points this season. But not because they don't have the pace. They have the pace. They just haven't been finishing in the points. So let's see if they can turn that around tonight. We're not expecting any change in weather. Let's have a look. It's going to be cool-ish, cloudy, but dry, as it always is. Maybe we can actually see a reminder just how good that Mercedes is. We're 1 day away. And our upgrade is complete on the memorabilia room. Lovely stuff. That will hopefully help going forward. Reduce the amount of interaction we need to do with the sponsors, even if it's just a little bit. That will give us a nice little extra 10-point boost in marketability. Will also help improve our mentality a little bit. Let's see. No, he's still miserable. Our affiliates, we're going to give these guys a run tonight in the first session. Let's set our targets. We're going to go 18th with both. I think we can probably get away with that. I do think performance-wise, this could be our worst circuit of the year so far. But there is definitely a good chance that there'll be a retirement, and the AI could do something very weird with tyres tonight. So I think we have a chance of making sure that both of our drivers at least get 18th or more.
Welcome along to another exciting weekend of F1 action.
At the top of the constructor standings right now, it's McLaren.
Our weekend action starts here.
Wow, that was a really short intro, wasn't it? Yeah, McLaren at the top of the standings. Let's go. Okay, did not expect it to be that quick. Let's see. So we want to put our reserves in, and we're going to put them in on a set of soft tyres. So with Bahrain, we're looking at a kind of a standard setup that I generally put on. Every time I'm here. We'll go with that. Let's see, can we swap out some of these parts now that we have damaged engines on both cars? Is it worth? Oh no. Yeah. Combating claims of British bias. What, by having two American reserve drivers? No, I mean, Cadillac have said that they want an American driver in their team in the future. and they've signed Colton Herta. We don't have Colton Herta in the game. Logan Sargent makes I'm not sure how worthy a stand-in, but he makes sense as a stand-in for Colton until we do get Colton added into the game. Do I want to risk this gearbox? Not really. Let's go with the other setup that I like to run. Oh, you mean showing McLaren for a split second in the intro? No, I think it's just because they're top of the constructors. That's it. All right, so Bahrain is normally, I think, what, 17, 18 laps. We want to try and, well, actually, no, wrong tyres aren't probably going to go that far, but we'll try and go 24 laps if we can. I don't think the tyres will get anywhere close to 24 laps. Remember, we can't do much with the pace settings, or else the tyres are going to get too cold, and then they're going to blister and then they degrade anyway. We're not going to bother with messing with fuel usage. We are going to protect the ERS units as best we can by putting them in harvest so they don't wear out as fast. And let's see how the rookies do.
Radio check.
Good for me too. Let's get plenty of brake temperature, if you can, please.
Copy that.
And radio check when you can.
Radio check.
Loud and clear. And we need you to push this out lap.
Copy.
A reminder once again, if you are curious about trying to recreate this series in your own time, then all the mods I'm using are listed in the video description. Some of them are paywalled behind a Patreon account, but others are available to replace those if you don't want to go ahead and make that sort of financial investment. The only thing that you won't be able to get elsewhere, or at least not off Overtake, is the Cadillac Myteam pack. So you would need to substitute that with one of the teams that's available on Overtake. There's a lot of options there. And then the Facepack Mod to add in faces into the base game for Kimi Antonelli, for Franco Colapinto, for Gabriel Bortoletto, Arvid Lindblad, Oliver Behrman, and I think there is also an additional one there for Sebastian Vettel if you wanted to bring Vettel back. Those ones are kind of specifically, needed for those specific things, and the only way to get those is via the Patreon account of Mr. Only. All right, speed them up, see how they get on. Oh, okay, so something's got worse in that powertrain. It's the ERS. It won't stop him from running, but it's a shame it's gone orange
Quite happy at the moment.
so soon.
Copy that.
Means we might not be able to run that down all the way down before we have to completely bin it. All right, let's take a look at some feedback. We're at 81% feedback from Logan. It's pretty early into the session. Crawford will take longer. And how are we looking on our run out for them? 54%. Getting that ghosting again. Has it? Why does it keep turning this back on? I do not understand why it keeps turning that back on. I don't mind the frame rate dropping down into the sort of the 40s. You know, if it gets rid of the ghosting. The ghosting, I think, just looks worse than the occasional stuttery frame. Right, tyres at 60%. After 11 laps, that's not bad. We might actually hit. Temperatures are a little iffy because we're in some dirty air. We might actually hit the 24 laps. We got our feedback, I think, from Crawford. We're at 82%.
And here we've got
And we're at 82 there. Ludwig Nagel.
all right here.
Oh, sorry, Wilhelm
And then
Nagel
the car just goes. Not a mistake they'll want to make
has
again.
a little whoopsie. Let's have a bit more of a comprehensive breakdown as to which rookies are running. So we have Wilhelm and Bieber running for Red Bull. Teo is getting a run out for Williams there. Matthias Aguilar is running for... Is that Red Bull? Yeah, I think that's RB, and that's Red Bull. Bogdanovic in for Ferrari. There we go. Let's have a look at Teo. Oh, he's in the garage. He's done 6 laps. There we go. There's Teo. Wonder we'll see him on the grid next season. Wonder if we'll see the return of Jack Doohan next season. He's running number 47. That's Mick's number. Might have to dive into the editor and fix that. All right, we're at 20 laps, tyres down to 30%. We have now finished the development runs, so we can call them in at any point, but I'm going to just keep them out a couple more laps to see if we can get that 24 lap target out of the tyres before they completely give up. Also means we'll get, hopefully, some good lap time analysis on the 24-lap run on the soft tyres as well. And we are running a slightly lighter version to start with of the new tyre wear model, because I wanted to see how it worked across the season before I decided to go with the full version where the tyres really do fall away incredibly quickly. I wanted to see just what the AI would do, how it would react to the tyres. I didn't want to turn it into a bit of a farce where we were doing 2 and 3 stops and the AI was doing 5, maybe even 6. And not really knowing how the tyre wear would work long term. That's why we're running the slightly lighter version. So we're getting a little bit more life out of these tyres than expected. But not by a massive amount. They are definitely still wearing faster than they would normally. And they're certainly a lot more susceptible to temperature. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Dino, but Mick's actually officially on the books at Alpine. He's in their driver pool. So he should still have access to that number.
Pit lane.
All right, there we go. We've got the tyres down to about 20%.
Stop in front
Let's
of your
take a look
box.
at how the times held up.
At the moment, we are good. Copy.
So again, we're going to have some anomalies because of traffic.
Speed limiter on, please.
And stop in front of the garage.
And in this case, I think that's the anomaly, because I think we were getting slipstreams. Same with this lap, and then back down to the 137s and 136s. So pretty consistent there. Let's take a look at Crawford. Not quite as quick. Into the 36s. Maybe a little bit of an anomalous lap there. Then into the 37s, a couple of 38s. Again, with traffic, it's a little hard to tell. But not bad. Let's see what we need to do to the setups. So, let's bring that in. Let's also push that up there. We need some more tow. Let's go with that. And for car 2, too much rear wing. Okay. So let's go. I'll be looking at a 5. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at the cornering. So we need the cornering to go up a bit more. try that. There we go. And that's our running done for this session. There we go, end of session. And it's Gasly who's at the top of the leaderboard. I'm not going to read too much into that. So, good job from our rookies in that opening session. We have penalties in this Grand Prix for Antonelli and for Lindblad. Both of them have a 5-second penalty, which will be converted into 3 places in qualifying for causing collisions. What tyres do I want to go? I think we have to go with the hard tyres. And we have to run pretty long. Just to get their track knowledge up. That concerns me, but we're going to leave it in. Hopefully it doesn't get any worse.
Green light.
And it's the first time we get to see our car at night this season.
Reminder for brake temperature. Copy.
Keep warming up the brakes.
Got it.
Alright, let's whiz through these opening laps, get some feedback on the setup changes that we've made.
How does the car feel?
So we have our feedback from Valtteri. We're still not where we need to be.
Okay.
How far are we away though? 91%. It's a small improvement. At 8%, I think we're at 83%, weren't we? So there's definitely a big change somewhere in the setup. probably going to be the roll bar, I would imagine. Let's wait for Checo. Oh, that's more like it, 97%. So just a little tweak. Might be the cornering that need to fix. It might be the front wing, but small change needed there. Once again, we're seeing that the hard tyres, even at this pace, do sometimes struggle to stay in the temperature window. I think with the battery running, temperatures would potentially be a little bit more stable, but they are not getting in that window, are they? Means that we may have to consider a slightly more intense push on the hard tyres. If not throughout the whole stint, certainly every now and again to fire them up a little bit. Oh, we have a VSC. That is Hulkenberg, by the look of it. Oh, no, VSC. It's not. It's a McLaren, Mercedes, sorry.
Stay as close as you can to
maybe
zero
it's both
delta.
of them. Yeah, there we go. Hulkenberg and Antonelli, who already has a penalty. And that's going to be another one.
I got hit quite badly.
And once again, he's blaming the other driver, just like he did last night.
And you can just feel the frustration from the team watching on the monitors.
So expect to see another penalty popping up here for Antonelli. That'll be a 6th place penalty. He's out as well, so that's really not going to do him any favours with Toto. Here's the investigation. No penalties given. Oh, he got away with that one. He really got away with that one. I thought that was a stonewall.
Safety car ending.
3 place penalty.
Copy. Still the same.
Did I see that Alex Dunn and McLaren are parted ways? I saw the headline in my news feed or my notification feed, but I haven't opened an article to read about it yet. Is there any particular reason given? I mean, for me, I think the biggest reason would be just a lack of available seat at McLaren. I don't think they're in any hurry to replace Norris or Piastri. I think they're going to want to keep hold of that pairing as long as they possibly can. And if Alex Dunn wants to take that step forward and get into a race seat, it might seem strange to see it, but signing for Red Bull might be his best option. Just the way they're churning through drivers, trying to find someone who can live with Verstappen. So there's a good chance that a seat at Racing Bulls would open up for him at some point. You could argue as well that Alpine could potentially be a fast track to getting on the grid, but it also might be a fast track to getting off the grid at the same time. Yeah, it will be interesting to see where he ends up.
Is the delta working properly? We need to work on the tires, keep the temperature on the tires.
So now the big question is, what tyres do I use in final practice? Do I use mediums or do I use softs?
And checkered flag.
I think we have to get mediums, don't we? That'll still leave us with 2 sets, I think. We're up to mid to high 80s in setup. We can just finalize these a little bit more and then get a decent amount of time on track. We can get close to, if not at, 100%. So let's see what we need to change. We're at 91%. There's nothing substantially that needs to change. I do think the roll bar needs to change, but I don't know which way to move it. I'm going to go with that. And then bring that back like that. Taking a bit of a gamble here. But we have a session. Let's see if we're close with that. Let's go with 32 laps of fuel. I don't think we'll get the full 32, but you never know. And then we just need a small change here. It is just the front wing, so I'm going to make that a 4.5. I'm going to dial that back just to compensate, and then I'm going to drop that back 1 as well. And we'll go with a couple less laps for Checo. And let's hit the track.
So now we have green light.
Must be disheartening as an academy driver to see the ones in the top seats are locked down for years to come. That's just the way sport in general is these days. I mean, how we've seen a slight resurgence in more recent years, but how hard has it been for academy players to break into the first team at top football clubs over the last, decade and a half, 2 decades. And Formula One is a little bit different. Well, as I say, a little bit, it's very different now. But if you go back to, say, the 80s and 90s, you had multiple teams, a lot more than just like the 10 or 11 or 12 teams. You have multiple teams that would try and enter, but they had to go through pre-qualification. And then, if they didn't hit that qualification target, they were out. And that was it. They never really got to take part at all. So you would see teams that would actually enter Formula One but would never ever actually get to race because they just weren't good enough. So more seats were available in that respect, and teams were, apart from a couple of really big teams, most teams needed to supplement their finances in some way at some point. So you would see a lot more drivers being brought in partway through a season just to replace somebody because the team needed the money, and the new driver coming in brought a big bit of sponsorship. Teams are now in a situation where they don't need paid drivers in this day and age. And that's quite a recent development as well. It's only in the last sort of 4 or 5 years that that's happened. Since the new regulations kicked in and Liberty took ownership, the teams are more profitable than they've ever been. So they no longer need paid drivers. Of course, it's always going to help, but it's no longer a requirement. If you've got talent but you don't have backing in the old days, now tough. You didn't make the grid. In this day and age, if you don't have the really, really big backing, it's not the end of the world. If you've got the talent, you can still get a chance. To be part of the reserve lineup. You might not break into the team depending on who's in front of you, but you get a chance. Big improvement there. We're just one tiny click away for Valtteri. That is something we can easily fix. And let's see, did we get it right with Checo, or did I overcorrect somewhere? Oh, we actually went backwards. Oh, okay. Did not expect to see that.
Happy with the balance.
And copy, understood.
Let's take a closer look.
Little
It's
wide
the Red
moment in the
Bull
last 2 corners there for Isaac
How
Kajar,
wide they
going
go,
wide at
leaving
14,
the racing
rejoining at
line.
15, just in
Really,
front
they
of
must be careful.
a Mercedes, and then immediately bails in the pits so he doesn't get rear-ended into turn 1. Last pay drivers were probably Mazepin and Latifi. I mean, for a while you could have thrown Checo in there when he was at Racing Point because of his big Mexican sponsorship. There was also Sergei Sorokin when he was at Williams before Latifi. But yeah, I think Mazepin and Latifi were the last traditional pay drivers. I mean, I suppose you could technically argue that Lance Stroll is a pay driver. He's certainly not there on merit. And that's more nepotism than financial reasons. But would that team still exist if Lance Stroll hadn't joined him? He was definitely a pay driver when he went to Williams. Well, there we go. We maxed out our track knowledge. So, where did we go wrong here? Okay, so is that really going to be a 3.5? Did not expect that at all. Let's put that back. Let's put that... Ooh, let's go there. Run plan. We've got to reduce that to affect the changes. Go. And for Valtteri... Yeah. There we go. That's Valtteri at 100% on car setup, and that'll be 100% across the board. I think they might have become high-tech, potentially. Because the Mazepins had a big ownership chunk of high-tech. So we could have seen high-tech make their way up into Formula One. All right. Practice is done. As far as we know, we're running we're definitely running 100% setup for Valtteri. We're hopefully going to be running 100% for Checo. Let's get ready for qualifying.
Qualifying is coming up, and the drivers will be ready and raring to go.
Qualifying consists of 3 periods, with the slowest drivers eliminated after each one. With the pressure mounting, who can secure a strong starting position for the race?
Now, there's been a bit of talk about Sergio Perez of late. How's he going to be feeling, do you think?
The main thing on my mind was their speed in practice. They just weren't that fast. But was that down to the driver, the car, the team experimenting? We don't know, and we'll just have to see how they fare in qualifying.
Buckle up then, folks. It's almost time for qualifying.
Every time he says buckle up, I just can't help but think of South Park. Buckle up, buckaroos. Alright, we need to switch out these engine parts. That's such a disaster. We're on to these components after just 3 Grand Prix. Alright. So we've got 3 sets of tyres.
Four seconds, 3, 2, 1, green light.
Again, we're going to see a little bit of an uptick in track evolution around here. Not going to be the first out. It's going to be Max and Leclerc who are the opening drivers to hit the track. I know I feel insulted.
So you're in a good position.
Oh, look at that, we're just so close to actually starting in very high confidence. Another couple of
Try to
races
work
and we
on the
should
front
hopefully be
tires.
there.
Copy.
Checo is just there now, so I think we nailed that setup change and got him up to 100. Both Ferraris going to be on track early. Same for both Racing Bulls. And we have an Audi out there as well. Which Audi is it? Hulkenberg. Our first Williams leaving the pits, along with our first McLaren as well.
1 to go.
And track is clear, track
It'll be a
clear.
very, very smooth lap for Max. Mike, a little bit of traffic here from Lawson and Hamilton at the end of the lap. There is Lawson. Not a good first sector for Charles Leclerc. It's a long way down, 9/10 down. Much better in the middle sector. And Max sets the opening benchmark at 1:30.5. Cut to Valtteri. Just saw a little glimpse of Checo in the background there. He's got Nico Hulkenberg for company. He might be giving Hulkenberg a little bit of a slipstream. Lindblad pops up just behind Charles Leclerc. Oh, there we go. I'm not sure why his time was great, but there we go. We pop up into 4th. 8 tenths away, well, 7.5 tenths away. I thought we'd be a little bit further away than Max than that.
Car, but stay negative on the delta.
Perez crosses the line. He is down an extra 1.5 tenths. Hulkenberg sets an identical time to Valtteri there, but Valtteri has
And reminder, stay negative on the
position
dash.
because he set the time first. Really good first sector for Carlos Sainz, but he might have some traffic to deal with. He's got Oscar Piastri right behind him. And Piastri is definitely close, so I think Piastri will be quicker over the rest of the lap. Middle split coming up after the next couple of corners. Hamilton up to 2nd, Lawson in 3rd, Leclerc 4th. Piastri has gained a 10th back on Sainz. Sainz needs a good result today to kind of kickstart his season. He's been very much second fiddle to Albon so far in the opening rounds. I think this track will suit him a bit better. He goes up to 2nd place. Piastri just a fraction behind him in the end. In 3rd place now. Let's check in with Ollie Behrman.
Make sure your limiter is on. If you could stop on the marks.
Oh, and a very strong opening sector for Pierre Gasly. He's tucked up right behind Lando Norris, I think.
Stop on
No,
the
wait. No, he's not. There he is. That is... Piastri and with the Mercedes right behind him. Colapinto just behind on track. There he is, just appearing at the top of the screen. Behrman goes up to 10th, so we're quicker than Behrman. Just. Here comes Gasly. And he goes 2nd. He's just 2,000ths away from Verstappen. We saw him top in FP1, and I said I wasn't going to read too much into it. Maybe we should. Maybe he's got some pace in that car. Maybe he's got some upgrades that Colapinto doesn't. Colapinto, I think, almost certainly hit some traffic somewhere at the end of his lap. Isaac Hadjar now closing out his lap. And he pops up into 5th place. Here comes Kimi Antonelli. Albon looking like he's going to slot in somewhere around Piastri and Sainz, just ahead of Hadjar. And he pops it just ahead of Sainz. And Antonelli matches him. Almost just a tenth slower. He will take 4th place. Where's George? Here's George. Let's see how quick George can go. It's not a great first sector. As Hadjar gets out of his way. We're going to go early for our second run. I don't know if we're going to be able to get out of the session. A monster middle sector for George. Decent final sector. He slots into 8th place, but it's a pretty tight look. It's 2 tenths separating the top 9. Less than 2.5 tenths separating the top 10 at the moment. Two drivers yet to set a time. One of them's about to. This is Esteban Ocon coming up to the line. Norris has just started his flying lap. Ocon goes in 11th. Perez into the drop zone. Let's see what the reigning world champion can do. And we have a yellow flag out there. Oh, this is not a good run here. As Hamilton has run wide on his in-lap.
And nearly, just running wide. Well, hopefully not a sign
Oh,
of
and that's completely ruined Norris's lap. So Norris is going to definitely need to run again. Let's turn our attention over to Perez now. So by going early like this, I'm hoping that we'll avoid traffic. Is that Behrman in front of us? I think it is. Going for another run as well. That lap from Hamilton would have been really quick had he not had that off in the middle sector. As it is, he does not improve, despite personal best in the first and a purple sector in the third. No improvement from Perez. And it's going to be some traffic for Valtteri here. Oh! Yeah, that lap's ruined. Let's call him in.
Single yellow.
But a spin for Norris. Maybe he's just trying to pay Hamilton back, I don't know. They're both on in-laps. All that's done is hurt Norris a little bit. Hasn't really done anything to Hamilton, and it's hurt us. We'll call Valtteri in. We'll have time to slap on a new set of tyres and send him out again. I think we're not improving. We should do that with Perez as well. We'll abort his lap.
Fiddly.
And we need speed limiter on, and then stop in front of the garage.
All right, can we find some improvement on a new set? Out goes Antonelli. And now we're in an awkward position where we're almost certainly going to hit some traffic on our run.
Okay, stopping on the marks and P1, please.
There goes Ocon. And we're going to slot out right in front of George, and that might be bad news for George. Oh, it's a little bit chaotic into turn one there. But I think everyone got through without getting in anyone else's way. So Leclerc's on a lap. I think there's a possibility. Oh, are we sandwiched in between the two Red Bulls there? I think we are, but I think they're on in laps, or at least Verstappen is. Where is Hadjar? Hadjar's on an out lap. 27.3. It's not the quickest we've seen in the first sector. We've seen 27.1s, I think. There's a little flurry of activity in the pit lane again. A lot of cars on track, in various different states of cooling down, warming up, or trying to push. It's going to be a messy end to the session for a lot of people here.
So you're in a good position.
Evening, Bill. Going to be cars in pulling out the way for Leclerc. He's not improved in the middle sector. Now Antonelli has a fault.
In front we have a train of cars.
But there! Oh dear, that's not what they need right now.
That's right at the start of the lap that's developed as well. All right, Checo to start his flying lap. Valtteri has some clear air in front of him, behind us. Leclerc peels out the way. We've got an RB right behind us. That's Liam Lawson. No improvement in the first sector, 27.8. Alonso sets a monster time in the final sector there. He goes top. No improvement for Valtteri either. So Lindblad coming up to cross the line. And he does not improve. So Lindblad is out. Go back to Checo. George isn't looking amazingly safe at the moment. Oh no, wait, he's high enough up the grid. I think he'll be fine. No improvement for either of our drivers. I think we're staring at the down the barrel of a double elimination here. Perez is out.
Coming past you now.
Valtteri is out, and we weren't even close to getting through. This could be an awkward race. Tyres might be our saving grace when it comes to the race itself, but who knows? We are out of qualifying, though. Joining us will be Arvid Lindblad, Nico Hulkenberg. Lando Norris is in trouble. Has he done enough? I don't think he has, you know. He hasn't. Lando Norris is out in Q1. Another early qualifying exit for Lando. And Colapinto also eliminated. So, yeah, a bit of a surprise there to see Norris out and down in P20 as well. But look how tight the field is. It's only when you get to about here that the gaps start to get a little bit bigger. But look how close. The top three separated by just 0.05 of a second. Top four by 1/10. Top seven by less than 2/10. 2/10 if you include George for the top 8. Very, very tight. All right, let's see who sticks it on pole. It's Leclerc on pole from Oscar Piastri. Hamilton in 3rd. George in 4th. Max is 5th. 6th for Fernando Alonso. 7th again. Really good qualifying for Alex Albon. 8th for Isaac Hadjar. 9th, but with a penalty, is Kimi Antonelli. That'll drop him down 3 places. 10th is Behrman, so he'll get promoted up to 9th. That'll bring Sainz up into 10th. So both Williams will start in the top 10. This could be a very good day for Williams.
Here in Sakir, the floodlights are on, and it's nearly time for 57 laps around the Bahrain International Circuit.
Bahrain has seen some of the most dramatic races in F1, like Sergio Perez's incredible 2020 victory, surging ahead from being last on the opening lap.
Bahrain is known for high tyre degradation, as the asphalt here is so abrasive. The drivers are facing many low to medium speed corners, and any heavy braking will inevitably take its toll on the tyres. Well, there's nothing quite like it. Welcome along to race day.
Is that you again in a new channel, Wayne? Or another rebrand? How many names have you gone through now? Alright, so it's still recommending soft, medium. That's interesting. I mean, we can do this. The tyres are not going to last that long in racing conditions, I don't think. So we would need to look at something like this. I think. Especially if we want to be aggressive in the opening stint. and then hope that maybe those will last. Let's play about with some other strategy options instead, though. So let's take a look at a medium to hard one stop. Oh yeah, it's predicting it to be very slow. Those tyres will be a lot more durable. What about if we were to do something like this, though? Would the more durable hard tyre work better than a medium? The answer appears to be no. Okay, what about a second set of mediums? Get off those softs early and go for a bigger undercut. That's something to consider. It would be slightly slower, a couple of seconds, but we could be a bit more aggressive in the opening stint, get off those softs relatively early, and then have good durability here. I still think we're going to see some 3 stops from the AI. Let's look at doing a 3-stop, an aggressive 3-stop. We don't have a set of extra tyres there. Alright, so let's look at doing something like that instead. Oops. In fact, if we... we look at something like that, 5 seconds slower, but would give me more leeway on the push. Yeah, you know what, I don't know which way to go on this, because again, the uncertainty of how the tyres are going to actually behave on this circuit. Some very interesting options there. I do kind of like that idea, and we could be really aggressive in that opening stint as well, and have the ability to maybe stretch this potentially and then go back onto a set of softs towards the end, or at least be more aggressive on the mediums at the end. I might split my my strategies here. This is something a bit more akin to a traditional kind of setup or strategy for this circuit. I'm going to go with that for Perez, and I'm going to go with this setup for Valtteri, and then we'll play it by ear and see what happens. We could have a very early safety car, which would throw things completely out the window. Let's take a couple of laps of fuel out. Without safety cars, I definitely think we're going to get lapped today. Let's go very aggressive off the line with both drivers. See if we can maybe sneak a place. 17th and 21st, not great starting positions. It has to be said. And we are ready. Let's send them to the grid for the start of the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. And there's always a sense of excitement when it comes to talking about Max Verstappen.
Starting P5 gives them a great position off the line. If they manage the race right, well, it could get even better.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One.
I'm more interested in what George is going to do in this
And
race.
this
I
is
think
it.
this could be the race that we
Bahrain
see
Grand
him
Prix.
back towards the front again. But Ferrari looking
And it's
strong,
lights out, and away we go.
and we can't discount Oscar Piastri, although Ferrari get a great launch. And Max is getting trying to get alongside Piastri as well. Side by side, Piastri's going to have the inside line. He will defend that position. Valtteri's gained a place, and so has Perez. Let's immediately calm everything down again.
We need to do the full management on this set.
Job done off the line for both of our boys.
And we need some lift off.
Copy.
Charge on. Okay.
George has lost out a little bit. He started fourth. Max got past him, nearly got past Piastri. Hamilton got past Piastri, so Oscar's not had a great start either. And I think Bortoletto has jumped Sainz. Sainz back down to 11th. Interestingly, we do have 3 cars starting on the mediums. Esteban Ocon, Yuki Tsunoda and Pierre Gasly. I wonder what we're going to see today in terms of tyre strategies. We have Lando Norris behind Valtteri. It's deja vu from yesterday.
DRS is enabled. We are P16.
And we are already in danger of being
Going from
dropped, so we
Gasly.
need to start pushing a little bit. Norris going on the attack.
Car behind is Norris.
Doesn't quite have the legs to get us in the braking zone, or the approach to the braking zone. Gets alongside though. He will have DRS as well.
Oh yeah, copy.
And you can use all the
And he
boost
slots in front.
Yeah,
So
copy.
Norris up to 16th. Can we see on board from Norris? Just managed to get his car alongside into the apex, and then had the better exit, and then the DRS opened as well. And he is a happy boy. Pulling out of the slipstream is not going to do anyone any favours in these early couple of laps, because now everyone's going to be pushing battery. And then Jordan, when's the next game coming out? Don't expect to see another game. Frontier dropped this series to focus on Jurassic World Evolution 3. I don't think it's likely to get revived, unfortunately. Who knows? Maybe they'll have another crack at it in a couple of years once the new regs are out and we've got new car designs. I don't know, but I wouldn't have expected it. I wouldn't expect another game. As Lawson gets the move done on Valtteri.
Keep up with them.
Not completely out of it. We're still side by side. Can we get the move done through 4?
He's 1.3
We can, and we
seconds behind.
retake the position. Unfortunate. Yeah, I think so. I think there was definitely
Norris ahead of you.
room for this game to continue to improve. But I think the biggest mistake they made was making it an annual franchise. If they'd done it every 2 or 3 years with, you know, seasonal updates for, you know, updated rosters and liveries, that would have been more likely to succeed. I think they could have had a game build on the core features throughout the 2 or 3 year lifespan of the game, and then go with a sequel after a couple of years, and give them good time to really develop and flesh out some of the features. First game was fun but bare bones. Second game was an improvement. This game is better still, and I would have liked to see where they would go, where they would have gone going forward. But
I really struggled, just couldn't
yeah,
find it fast.
I don't think we're likely to see another one.
His focus is a long race. Car behind is Perez. Charge on.
So we've gone backwards a little bit. We're 18th and 19th. Perez is up 2 places. Valtteri is down a couple of places. Well, down a place, having started, I think, 17th. No, he started 16th. So, yeah, we've lost a couple of places with Valtteri, gained a couple with Checo. 18th and 19th. We need them to be finishing 17th and 18th so we can get our sponsor targets done for both drivers. Doesn't matter which way round. I'm kind of hoping that we'll get 1 retirement, just to make that a little easier for us. Leclerc has scampered away at the front. Hamilton has a little bit of clear air between him and Oscar. Max coming under pressure from George, though. Yeah, we know how good that Mercedes is on paper. George was mighty in China, winning the sprint and the race comfortably, but hasn't really done much else this year. Is this a race where he can re-establish himself towards the top of the standings? Immediately trying to drop Max and go after Oscar. And we have our first yellow flag. Someone having a spin.
Yellow flag. Got it.
It's Nico Hulkenberg, which will have backed the pack up a little bit, I think. Oh no, it's behind us.
Lost it.
Some avoiding action there from Lindblad, and Hulkenberg now drops to the back.
And just like that, the hopes of the team start to dwindle.
So Valtteri and Lawson fighting again over 17th.
Okay, next
Lawson
car,
gets
Norris.
pushed wide. It's allowed Perez to have a look. It's only a half-hearted look. Leclerc's gone at the front. Look, 4.5 seconds clear now. Russell is there with Oscar. And it's a short hop, skip and a jump to Hamilton from getting past Oscar. So George making some moves. Albon's past Verstappen. He's up to 5th. We've got a problem somewhere for Sainz. Just losing touch with Antonelli and Bortoletto. Just going to be a little look at the inside. No, Perez thinks better of it. Tyres starting to overheat a little bit. Let's see how the tyre wear is looking. Oh, it's fine. Absolutely fine. So let's give Valtteri a little bit more.
Okay to push harder through 6 and 7 if you can. Charge on.
Copy.
Charge button on.
Copy.
Try and get a little bit more battery in the cars as well if we can. Valtteri having a little look at Norris. Couldn't quite get up the inside. Will compromise his exit slightly.
Remember, long way to go in this race.
He's going for it. Well, he's thinking about going for it. Again, he's trying to overcome the DRS, and with the slipstream, you can see how quickly we are hauling in Liam Lawson here.
Yeah.
Charge button on.
And there we go. 17th and 18th.
Charge button on. Charge button on.
Get those tyres temperatures down.
So let's take a look at the replay. Now here we are tackling turn 3. They decide to give it a go.
Lovely, lovely bit of driving there from Checo.
And Perez completes the overtake.
If we don't get a safety car, we are absolutely going to have to spend some time fuel saving.
Lost on DRS.
And the gap between the Ferraris now up to nearly 7 seconds. Leclerc is absolutely bolting. Which makes me think he's really pushing. Might see an early stop for Charles Leclerc. Hamilton has Piastri close by. Piastri, though, coming under pressure from George. George has pulled out of the slipstream, which is going to lose him ground, so he's going to have to slot back in again. Albon's dropped Max as well. And Antonelli's making some moves. He's up to 8th place now. And we have our first pit stop already. Ollie Behrman in after just 7 laps. In for a new set of tyres.
We're first there.
Perez trying to overtake Valtteri. Not a great stop for Ollie Behrman there. Slightly sticky front right.
We don't need to worry about management on these tyres, just pushing.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
And I'm wondering whether or not we should convert our strategy back to that. Given the tyres seem to be holding up a lot better than I was expecting, I think we will. The extra grip of the softs over the mediums, I think, will make it,
when you can.
you know, worthwhile to do that.
Yeah. We're holding on.
Charge on.
Cool your tyres. Copy.
We can use Valtteri here to just give a little... Oh, wow. Early stops for both Oscar and Verstappen. It looked like another set of soft tyres for Oscar. It's mediums for Max. Yeah, softs for Piastri. So, is he going for a 3-stop? And just 8 laps done on those tyres.
What about tyres?
And of all the teams that I thought would go for a 3-stop, I wasn't expecting Max to be one of those cars making a 3-stop.
Are good.
I thought he would have enough tyre wear, preservation skill, and Red Bull would be decent enough on its tyres that he would go too. Same as we're going to do, but yeah, bit of a surprise there.
He has DRS.
Let's see how it works out for him. There's only 3 seconds off the back of Hulkenberg, and he'll start to catch him very quickly. Gap over 7 seconds now. Russell promoted to 3rd with Oscar diving into the pits, and no real challenge from behind at the moment. Alonso now running in P5. Make that P4 as Alonso hits the pits. Antonelli's up to P5. What a great recovery race so far from Antonelli. Starting in 12th with that penalty. And has some damage on his car. In the powertrain, I think. Probably a holdover from his collision last night. It's Suzuka.
Charge on.
Copy.
And we are back on the train again.
Load push.
Copy.
Bortoletto is definitely the cork in the bottle at the moment.
He does have DRS on you.
And they see Ollie Behrman trying to make them... No, sorry, Esteban Ocon trying to make the move. Just in front of us.
You are now P13. Norris ahead of you. Perez
Very
behind.
tight here at the moment.
He's 0.5 behind.
Can we make a lunge on Norris? Oh, it's tight. Yes, we get our wheels alongside. And we do to him what he did to us. And we have a yellow flag.
We're currently P12.
Right then, we can take a look now.
Just
Now,
see a
this was
replay of this
Valtteri
overtake.
Bottas.
Lovely move on the brakes.
Opportunities there. Up to 12th and sniffing at those points places.
Right, so what brought out the yellow? It's a crash.
Now we're just proceeding through turn 4.
And that's Oscar
Barely any
Piastri
room
and
to
the
manoeuvre.
2 Racing
And
Bulls.
not just one car involved in that.
And
as
that
you
is
can
a
see.
collision between
That will have knocked their
Piastri and
confidence, I'm
Lindblad.
sure.
Mode push.
Copy.
Yeah, Bortoletto really struggling for pace at the moment. We might see him into the pits very, very soon.
Norris with DRS.
Valtteri is through. We're going to see a penalty. Nope. Racing
Nice job.
incident according to the stewards.
P11. Next car is Ocon.
Bortoletto has been dispatched. Hamilton's into the pits. Look at the gap to Russell from Charles Leclerc, 11.7 seconds. It's a decent stop from Ferrari. Hadjar is in as well as Sainz. And Bortoletto has boxed, as I thought he would do. Has to wait for Bortoletto to go through.
You're doing a good job. Okay, in front is Bottas.
That's a good stop from
Got to
Lindblad.
him 2.5.
Here's the replay. Now this
And
was
while
at
we were
turn
watching
3.
all of that, Perez
There's the
gets
opening.
alongside Lando into turn 1. He'll have the DRS on the exit of 3 as well.
And the overtake is made.
Rear wing opens and a chance to pull away.
DRS.
I should apply for working at Sky Sports F1. I don't think I'm at that official broadcast level, but I like to think I do a decent job. You're very kind to say so. So, end of lap 12, running order update. It is Charles Leclerc from George Russell. Alex Albon is right behind Russell now in the battle for second. Then it's Kimi Antonelli in fourth as Russell dives into the pits. Then we have Gasly from Tsunoda, Ocon in seventh, Bortoletto and Perez 8th and 9th now, thanks to a lot of pit stops in front of us. It's only about half the grid that's stopped so far, though, as Norris dives in from behind us. Some of those early stoppers haven't really made the progress that we were expecting to see. Piastri in P9 now has got a couple of cars behind him. Colapinto shouldn't be an issue. Hamilton, if he can get through, will be fighting Piastri. And that stop for Norris has brought him out just in front of Arvid Lindblad there, down in 20th place. Lawson into the pits. What tyres is he coming out on? He's coming out on a set of medium tyres. So that could be an indicator of a two-stop like we were initially planning with Valtteri. He could go medium-medium, he could maybe go medium-hard. He might more likely, though, be three-stopping and finishing off with another couple of sets of softs. As Hamilton gets alongside Franco Colapinto, gets the move done through turn 11. And we need to start thinking about rebuilding our batteries. I'm also going to start
button
to
on,
do
please.
just a little bit of fuel saving now.
And we need to increase.
Alex Albon is in from P2. Mechanics coming out in the Mercedes garage as well for Kimi Antonelli. Another set of soft tyres going on there for the Williams. It's not a good stop though. Better stop for Mercedes. And in comes Franco Colapinto. You just see Hulkenberg arriving in the pit lane behind us as well. Medium tyres going on for Colapinto there. He will get out, I think, ahead of Lawson. Onto mediums for Nico. He will come out at the back of the field. And we see Piastri is starting to really reel us in. Let's take a look at lap times. Yeah, he's lapping second and a half quicker than Valtteri, just over a second quicker than Checo on that last lap. Checo was burning some battery last time round, and we're fuel saving as well, so we are going to be a little bit slower than we could be. Pace is still pretty good though, when you compare it to the cars in front of us who also have yet to stop. I am very curious now as to where we're going to feed out and whether our two-stop strategy will pay off in the long run, making one less stop than quite a few of the cars that have already dived into the pits.
So we believe it will be soon.
Okay,
George is going to line up a move on Max here into turn 1. He sets the new fastest lap as well, a 134.7. It's immediately beaten by Fernando, a 134.6. George gets past Max. Antonelli is overtaken by Alex Albon. No, wait. It's Hadjar overtaking Albon. I've got that the wrong way round. My bad. Could be an instant response from Alex here. Couldn't quite get alongside into turn 4. And now Perez has both Oscar and Lewis for company.
Tire phase update when you can.
Yeah, it's steady. The deck.
Oscar not able to get alongside into turn 11 there. He'll absolutely nail us into turn 1 if he doesn't get us into turn 14 here. Perez throws a defensive shape, but I think Oscar still might get him on the brakes. He gets alongside. Hamilton is sniffing around, waiting as well, and that is George Russell now on the back of the train with Max as well. It's about to get very crowded in Checo's rear view. And still, he just about holds off Oscar Piastri. This is some really strong defensive driving from Sergio Perez here. The Mexican Minister of Defense. And still holding back Oscar as well. It's just a matter of time. It's when, not if. But he's doing an amazing job here so far. And this is really hurting Oscar, Hamilton, George and Verstappen. Alonso has joined the back of that queue as well now in the Aston Honda. And Hadjar, Albon, Antonelli, Sainz, they're all starting to close in as well. It's a huge disparity in lap time here. And Leclerc still hasn't stopped. He's still doing 136.1s. Tsunoda doing a 136.0, but he's 21 seconds further back. And with us doing 138.3s here and holding everybody up, we are gifting this race to Charles Leclerc. As finally Oscar gets the move done. And now that's the floodgates going to open. Everyone's going to go flying past us.
Copy.
First one, straight there.
Continue, keep going. Behind you is Hamilton.
So medium tyres going on there for Esteban Ocon. Pierre Gasly has also gone mediums, I believe. No, he's gone softs. He gets out ahead of that fight with Lando Norris. And so does Ocon. So that's a nightmare for Norris. Still down his 17th after his early stop. And Russell has jumped Hamilton in the melee behind us, but Perez is still still hanging on to 5th place.
Suggests that you can reduce the amount of lift and coast at turn 1.
Copy.
And there goes George.
Okay.
Leclerc is finally in for his stop. We're going to be stopping very, very soon ourselves. That's a good stop for Ferrari there. Let's see a replay of George getting alongside into turn 11. Through he goes. And Hamilton must be really scratching his head as to what he has to do. He's seen Oscar get through, he's seen George get through, he's lost a place to George in the process. This time he gets him, he feints to the inside, oh, and he goes too wide. Hamilton into the gravel, and he's going to lose so many places, down to 12th place there for Lewis Hamilton.
Copy.
And box now, box.
Yeah, copy.
Boxing this lap.
Copy, box.
Through goes Verstappen, Hadjar up to 8th place now. What a disaster for Hamilton there. Looked like he pulled a clever move there, feinting to the inside, switching back to the outside. But Perez just pushed him off the track, gave him no room at all around the outside, which he had the right to do. Hamilton having to lift massively to avoid losing control of the car and lost multiple places there to both Red Bulls, Alonso, Albon and Antonelli. And now just Tsunoda, the only other driver yet to stop. As through goes Hadjar, our tyres are finally just giving up. It's been a good first stint for both cars. You're going to have to do it all over again, as we will be undercut by pretty much everybody. Piastri cannot find a way past Valtteri, and that's got George right on his tail. Our boys making it very difficult for anyone to get through. Perez into the pits as well. .7. It's not quick, but it's clean.
You're in clear air.
2.5, a little bit better. We have seen that Perez's pit crew has been a little bit sharper than Valtteri's. And we're back down in 19th and 20th again. Let's fire up these tyres, get them up to temperature quickly.
Cut behind Perez.
But we will have much fresher rubber. And I don't think it'll be too long before we see the second round of pit stops for some of the cars in front of us. Meanwhile, let's turn our attention to the battle for third place.
Next guy in front, Bottas.
Yuki Tsunoda is still going on those medium tyres.
Hülkenberg behind.
George feinting a look. Very compromised exit out of 14 and 15 for the pair of them. Tsunoda still hasn't stopped. This is going to be a slam dunk into turn one here for George, I think. It is, but he's given Piastri DRS and an opportunity to maybe have a little look up the inside at 4. George threatens to cover him off and does so. And can Russell now start to pull away from Oscar and go hunting after Charles?
Slow down now.
Copy.
Take care of the tires.
Copy, guys.
As Leclerc is right there with Yuki Tsunoda, who still hasn't stopped. I'm wondering if we're thinking, if Tsunoda's thinking of a one-stop here. Going mediums to hards, that would be very unexpected. Oh, well, Leclerc just breezes through. He's got so much more grip than Yuki at the moment. Yuki gets pushed wide as well. but he doesn't box. He stays out there. So he's got the opportunity to try and at least up his pace a touch in the slipstream and DRS of Leclerc for a lap or two before he gets dropped completely. Might not even make it to the next DRS zone after this one before he's dropped. And Bottas gets the move done on Lindblad at the exit of 15. He'll have DRS, so he should be able to retake that position into turn 1.
Car behind is Perez.
And he may even have got the DRS at the exit or the entrance to turn 1 as well. Oh, he did. Lovely, lovely, clever driving from Valtteri there. So, back up to P18 then for Valtteri. And let's break him away.
So mode push. Copy.
Hulkenberg is lurking just outside of DRS range, so we'll give Perez a little bit of extra pace as well. I think we've done enough to drop Arvid Lindblad. So that'll make it easier for Perez to catch and pass him. Yes, we have. We have dropped him. There we go. Leclerc's already 3 seconds ahead of Tsunoda, and Tsunoda finally hits the pits. He did 21 laps on those mediums. I don't think it's enough to stretch for a 1 stop. So, is this softs? It is. It's softs. So this is a 2 stop then for Yuki Tsunoda. He'll be finishing with another set of softs, I would imagine. Where's he going to feed back out? Looks like he's going to come out in 13th ahead of Bortoletto. Will be tight in the braking zone. And Lindblad's into the pits. There we go. So we have our 2nd stop. Through goes Hulkenberg. And it is another set of softs for Arvid Lindblad. 3 stop confirmed. Well, it was always going to be at least a 3 stop. Might even end up being a 4 stop, depending on what tyres he has available. But Racing Bulls have not been good this season. I thought we would see a bit more out of them. Just hasn't worked out for them in these new regulations.
We need to reduce K1 usage.
Copy.
Charge on.
Copy.
And this is where we find out whether or not our first stint flattered to deceive a lot. So we have a yellow flag. Piastri into the pits.
Single yellow.
He's changing his front wing. It's a spin for Behrman. Exit of the 2nd sector, just drops it on exit. Very twitchy rear end on that Haas. And out goes Oscar Piastri. In comes Lando Norris. So McLaren stopping both cars on the same lap here. Mediums going on for Norris. It's not been a great race for Norris, has it? He's down in 21st place after making his 2nd stop. Piastri all the way down in 18th, having made his 2nd stop and needing to change his front wing. Perez is closing in now on Ollie Behrman after that little merry-go-round he did on the previous lap.
Copy.
And we need charge button on.
Copy.
Will this be a pretty straightforward overtake? Yep, even with battery in harvest mode, that was pretty comfortable.
Charge button on.
Copy.
Good job. Car in front is Bottas.
Into the pits then for Gabriel Bortoleto. And we're slowly creeping back up the order. But as I was about to say when we had that spin and the nose change for Piastri, did our pace flatter to deceive a little bit in the first stint because we were always in or around the DRS? Now that we're running unaided in clean air, is our pace actually going to be worse? Not really sure what to expect as this race progresses. A safety car in the next sort of 10 laps would be a disaster for us. Even the next 5 laps would be pretty disastrous because a lot of these guys here are going to need to stop again soon. We are actually lapping slower than Colapinto at the moment. Slower than some of the cars in front of us as well. A little bit quicker than Sainz, quicker than Hamilton, who's stuck behind Albon. So does that mean Albon's about to stop soon? And this fighting is going to slow them down as well. Look at the traffic that's building up behind them. Bit of a queue forming. Albon to Hamilton to Sainz, Gasly, Ocon, Antonelli and Tsunoda. You see Tsunoda having a look, or being looked at by Antonelli. I think Tsunoda actually got the overtake there. And Piastri has caught and passed
Right,
Checo.
concentrate.
Let's give Checo some more battery again.
And more energy available.
Copy.
Would like to see a little bit more pace out of Valtteri. Let's take a look at tyres. What's going to be better? Do we be a bit more aggressive with this? Or do we stretch and go a bit more aggressive there? A bit more aggressive here looks to be the answer. Maybe stretch a couple of laps, but let's give Valtteri a little bit more tyre. And Checo as well.
Might need to pick up the pace a little bit.
So after a difficult first stint, Russell now sitting clear in second place, but he's still 15 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. This is going to be a very easy win for Leclerc without something to close the field back up, be it a safety car or a red flag. Colapinto putting on another set of soft tyres.
Yeah, copy.
So he needs to stop one more time. Where do you see the finish? At the end of the Grand Prix. Is the literal answer. Where do I see us finishing? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. We're running the realistic racing, the most up-to-date version of that. We are running the slightly lighter version of the tyre performance mod that's available on Overtake as well. At some point we may crank that up to the full wear rate version of that mod, but that may completely destroy tyre strategy for the AI, which is why I was a bit reluctant to do that to start with, especially combining it with realistic racing. Potentially we could get some points. We certainly don't have the out-and-out pace for points, but you know, our drivers are decent in defence, and if we're making one stop less, or if there's a really fortunate safety car like we've had a couple of times so far, we might be in a position to get points at the end of the race. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we end up finishing somewhere where we are now. Sort of knocking on the door of the top 10, but not quite there. Williams drivers preparing to lock horns. Hamilton is definitely released now that he's got through. Do you think we'll get 10th and 12th? Well, let's see. It'll be interesting to see where we do end up. Albon covers the inside, Sainz looking to go around the outside. Gets the move done, gets the DRS as well. And that should be all she wrote in that fight. Keep the tyres going like this just for another lap or two before we cool them down again. Let's do some fuel saving at the same time.
Go back to doing lift and coast now.
We're about a lap short of fuel at the moment. Bahrain, I think, is about 1.82. Is this your first live race then, Jordan? Yuki Tsunoda trying and failing to get past Esteban Ocon. And the gap now nearly 20 seconds between Leclerc and Russell. This looks like this is going to be Leclerc's all day long, as it's a bad exit there for Ocon through turn 4. Very tight to the inside of the apex there. And Tsunoda able to swoop around the outside. Got to imagine he's going to go straight on the attack as well. Gasly's also very, very close. They're lining up to take shots at Albon here. He's been dropped from Sainz's DRS, so he is going to be vulnerable. And Gasly gets up the inside at 11. Might be a chance for Albon to have another go back at turn 1. You can see we are closing in the background, and Piastri is closing in on us as well. Oh, someone going very wide there. Albon's into the pits. I think it was Antonelli just taking a little excursion wide on the exit of 15 there. Medium tyres for Albon. They could take him to the end. Whether they will or not is another matter, but he could go to the end on those tyres. Speaking of, we need to cool ours down as they are now overheating and the wear is going to start dropping significantly. Sainz has picked up a mechanical issue.
Just cool your tyres.
Albon getting out just in front of Franco Colapinto there, so he'll be in 17th place. Been a bit of a disappointing race for Albon. His early pace looked very promising, but it's kind of fallen away a bit. And it's starting to tighten up here in the midfield. Let's say the midfield, at the sort of the mid of the top 10 as well. Hadjar, Alonso, Hamilton, all very close to the back of the Verstappen now. Who's my favourite driver? What, of the current grid? I'm not sure. I don't really have an out-and-out favourite. I'm a big fan of Hamilton for what he's been able to do through his career. I haven't really seen much of old Lewis in the last few seasons, unfortunately. I think Oscar has got all the talent in the world. I think he's a world champion in the weight in the wings. It's a question of when, not if, he's going to get a title. He might even get it this season.
Correct. There's progress to be made. Russell.
So here we go, heading into turn 1. It's certainly inviting.
It's going to be an easy move under braking. And that was George coming out the pits right behind, I think.
The points in touching
Yeah, there he is. There's
now.
George.
They're 11th.
So that was a vital overtake for Piastri to get clear of us before George got out the pits. Not really a massive fan of George. I hate the way he has this kind of almost smug problem in the pits for Behrman there. He has this kind of smug style in interviews at the end of a race as well if he's had a good result, and the way he just stands there and flips the microphone from hand to hand. I don't know, that bugs me. It's one of those things I can't unsee. Oh, this is a really bad stop for Behrman. Is he still in the pits? Oh, he's finally underway. And he's been lapped. Almost. He just gets out ahead of Leclerc, but he's going to get blue flagged. There we go. So we have our first lapped driver in this Grand Prix. Let's ease off on the fuel saving now.
No more lift and coast.
Copy.
We've got Norris closing in on the back of Perez. Russell could well have a look into turn 1 here. Max is one of those drivers that I flip-flop on.
Just do your best.
This season, I've been a big fan of Max. He's been more relaxed, he's been more chill. He's driving, amazingly at times as well. We've seen some phenomenal driving out of Max this season. But when he's under pressure,
Race is long.
when he gets
And next
really,
car behind
really
will
just
be
over the top RC in the car, he kind of frustrates me. And when he starts to lose the plot on track and pulls off very ridiculously dangerous, borderline cheating maneuvers, which he has a habit of doing, I really don't like that. He has so much talent, he doesn't need to resort to maneuvers like that. I mean, what he did in Mexico against Norris last year was, you know, vile. That could have been very, very dangerous indeed. And we've seen it a lot in the last couple of seasons. Again, he was very, very aggressive and I don't want to say crash happy, but an incident with another driver would not be unheard of in his first few years. And then he kind of calmed down a little bit.
Car behind is Norris.
And then we start to see him start to crack again in the last year or so. And I'd say he's been much more chill this year, and he's been much more enjoyable to watch.
No worries, mate.
So Antonelli out in P18, Lindblad's in. He's going to get lapped. What a drive from Leclerc. He's 30 seconds clear of Max at the moment. Nearly 31 seconds clear. Here comes Leclerc, and once again expect to see Lindblad get blue flagged. Maybe in the very same spot. Yeah, there we go. Pulls over. And through goes Charles Leclerc. That actually cost Lindblad a fair bit of time there. And speaking of Max, he's into the pits. And so is Alonso behind, and Lewis Hamilton. So, 3 cars all stopping at the same time. All very, very close to each other on track. Good stop for Verstappen. Okay stop for Hamilton, not the quickest. We've got a mechanical fault for Lindblad now.
And as far as we can tell, they've got a
Of course,
fault.
we have no audio for Lindblad, so no idea what it is. And will Alonso get clear? I think he will. Pit crew has disappeared. So, yeah, Alonso will get back out ahead of Hamilton. Evening, Adrian. Interestingly, for these guys, they are going to drop out behind Perez, apart from Verstappen. Max has managed to get ahead of Checo. That was important for Max.
In front we have Verstappen.
Because we still need to
Gap to Verstappen
stop
will be
again.
1.5 seconds.
But we're not going to be stopping for another couple of laps yet.
Still margin to push a bit harder through turn 6 and turn 12.
Box Valtteri at the end of the next lap. We'll try and go a lap longer for Checo. Might box him at the same time.
Boxing this lap.
Let's turn his tyres up anyway.
Box.
And push.
Snowder putting some pressure on Gasly. Both of these guys going to be in for another stop soon. Sainz now holding people up. He's got Ocon just behind him. Russell desperately trying to find a way through. All over the back of Esteban here. Then it's Piastri. Then it's us. Norris swarming all over the back of Valtteri. There's Norris and Valtteri. Isaac's into the pits. This could be a crucial stop for him. Can he get out in front of Alonso and Hamilton? Set of soft tyres. They should take him to the end. There goes Valtteri and Verstappen. There's Perez. There's Alonso. Where's Hamilton? Hamilton is a bit further back and struggling to stay ahead of Alex Albon there. How is Leclerc leading by 43 seconds? He's just been mighty today, and difference in tyre stops. Some of the guys that were closer have recently stopped. He had like a 20-second lead, 21-second lead over George. George is now here. stuck trying to find his way through. And here he is, actually making the move on Carlos Sainz. And there we go, he gets himself through. Antonelli's fault seems to have escalated in his engine. One more lap for Checo.
And box now, box.
Could go another lap for Valtteri, but
Yeah, confirm.
we're going to go now. Tsunoda, Sainz, Ocon into the pits.
Good mate.
And we might actually hold someone up on their exit here. Oh, Albon just able to sneak out. See, it's not a good stop for Ocon. Can we jump Ocon here? We can. Bad stop for Esteban Ocon. So we're at 17th place.
Currently, he's
Gonna
70.
absolutely muller what's left of those tyres there for Perez.
Car behind is
And Ocon behind us is on a set of soft tyres, so they'll be quicker but less durable than us. It's a yellow flag. Brief, very brief. It's been cleared already. Little lock up at
Let's see
turn
what
1 for
happened
Gabriel
then.
Bortoletto there.
Okay, so heading into turn 1 here. Struggling with the car. But that's just the risk you take. The later you leave it.
Yeah, it's cost him a couple of places there.
DRS enabled. Ocon has
21
it.
laps to go. It's not impossible that Ocon will make another stop. Don't think he will, but we'll see. Into the pits comes Gasly and Oscar Piastri behind as well. New fastest lap for Fernando Alonso.
Good thing.
Medium tyres to take Piastri to the end. In comes Perez as well. Gasly's gone back out. He is on a set of soft tyres. .3, that's a good stop for us. Is it going to be good enough for some points?
And track will be clear.
Ocon trying to squeeze through. Gets it done. I think he'll have the DRS as well. Yes, he does. We have a pretty much
Okay, in
full
front is
battery
Bottas.
waiting to deploy. Let's get Perez up to speed. So Leclerc leads by just under 45 seconds from George Russell, but does need to stop again. He's going to have a comfortable lead, though. He's going to have a good 18 to 20 second lead, I think, depending on how much longer he stays out. So this is Leclerc's race to lose. He has been mighty today, absolutely mighty. We have seen George punch through to become best of the rest. Took him a while to get going, though, in this race. Can't completely discount Max and Norris. Even Alonso, he's been looking pretty quick today. And the early promise we saw out of Hamilton has kind of faded away.
No management required. Copy.
Into the pits goes Nico Hulkenberg. That'll promote us up to 16th and 17th. We're done with pit stops now. May yet still be some stops in front of us. Again, we can't see at any point, we can't see the tyre wear of the other teams. So no idea what condition their tyres are in, or how likely they are to make that extra stop. As there's nearly contact between the two Audis into turn one, Hulkenberg has to really take avoiding action on his teammate there. That's going to leave him very vulnerable to to Behrman. Good thing for Nico is that his tyres are soft, so they should fire up pretty quickly. See another 1.8 seconds taken out of Leclerc by George, but he's giving up the best of his tyres at this point. Leclerc still yet to put on those new tyres. There'll be a set of softs, and he will be rapid.
And easy on the front tires.
Yeah, copy.
It's been a great fight back for Norris as well, but I think he still has to make another stop. Hadjar is closing in. And after a decent opening race for Hadjar in Australia, he kind of fell away in the last two Grand Prix. Looks like he's back in this one into the kind of pace we were expecting to see out of him. Oh, the mediums are not staying in the temperature window. That is interesting. Maybe the track temperature is just a little bit too cool. And through goes Isaac Hadjar. Hamilton having a look as well. Norris will not have DRS. Hamilton's got a really good chance here into turn 4. Norris shuts the door on him. Let's use some battery for both drivers here.
Mode
They are
push.
full.
Yep.
Tyres are on push. Let's see what kind of pace we can do over the next lap and a half, 2 laps. Another look for Hamilton, this time into turn 11. Again, Norris shuts the door. Oh, and what a late move from Lewis Hamilton there. On the brakes, gets it done. Will have DRS down the main straight, but Norris will have the slipstream. And now he'll have the DRS into turn 4. Colapinto's in for his 3rd stop of the day. And Charles Leclerc is in. So, Behrman, Lawson unlapping themselves. Decent stop for Ferrari. New set of tyres, soft tyres for Charles Leclerc. George Russell still hasn't even reached turn 14 yet. There's George. He's the entire pit straight behind, and he's on used tyres. The only way Aston has a chance is if they replace Stroll. Yeah, this is why I moved Yuki over for the start of the Honda era.
And charge button on.
Copy.
So currently 15th and 16th. Unknown as to whether there will be additional stops in front of us.
The upshifts are degrading. Upshift.
Gearbox issues for Nico Hulkenberg. Being stuck in that dirty air and the extra heat being spat out by the cars in front will not help him. And the gap is 13 seconds, but it's going to start climbing again pretty rapidly. Let's see, we've got a fight here. Alex Albon closing in on Norris. Still waiting to see when Norris is going to make his extra stop. I do think he is going to have to make one. Could be very, very soon. Next lap or two. Sights alongside. Gets the move done on the exit of 11 into 12. So, is Lando going to stop? No, he's staying out. It's a new fastest lap from Lewis Hamilton, who's closed right up to the back of Isaac. If Leclerc wins now, it'll be the fourth different win. I'm trying to remember who won last night. Because it was Norris in the opening Grand Prix. I think it was Oscar last night, wasn't it? So we had Norris win the first race, George in the second. Oscar last night. Leclerc's going to win it tonight, yeah. So 4 winners in the first 4 races. George did win that sprint as well. So technically he's won 2. Or 1.5. And I'm a little worried about our tyre wear. I think we'll be okay as long as the tyres don't start overheating, so we may have to keep turning them down a little bit, let them cool off and then put them back up again. But leaving them on their own, they're just not keeping the temperature. How is soft that good now? Teams will have been making some improvements in tyre performance over some upgrades. Plus, we're running the slightly lighter version because I didn't know what was going to happen with the number of pit stops. We may yet adjust to a more intense version of the tyre performance mod for next season. But I think this season we'll play it out like this. Soft tyres have always been good around this circuit. You know, you've always been able to push the softs and the mediums and the softs and do a two-stop, you know, with intense on the first set of softs, intense on the second set of softs, and full out push on the hards and still be fine for the most part, you know, with a two-stop strategy. So the performance isn't as good in terms of durability, as base game. It's slightly better. New fastest lap for Charles Leclerc, 132.1. Now we're going to start to see Charles pumping in some quick laps. The biggest change with this version of the tyre wear mod is the operating window. And the fact that tyres will really start to degrade if you're too cool. So if you're just trying to just sit and leave them in a low push and save tyres, can't do that anymore. Because this new version simulates those tyres blistering if they get too cold, which rips up the surface of them. As we see in real life when the tyres aren't warm enough. There we go, Norris in for his final stop. He's going to drop him way down the order again. I think Perez will beat him into turn 1. There's Norris, we just saw him there.
And you are doing a good job on tyres. Keep it like this.
There he is, just coming towards the exit of the pits. So Norris will be quick, and I expect him to catch and potentially pass Perez. Yeah, I'm not using the full version. I'm using the version that has slightly better temperature wear or tyre wear, because I didn't know how it would react with the realistic racing, already making it harder to overtake and overheating tyres and stuff. But as I say, as performance improves and cars get better at looking after their tyres, we may well move over to the full version. But this being a brand new set of regulations and everyone's performance dropping off for, dramatically for things like cooling, I didn't want to go with a full version in this season. It would be a bit silly, I think, to see 4 and 5 stop races.
And tyre phase update when you can.
Which I think we probably would be seeing.
They're still are good.
So Ocon is past Antonelli. Antonelli's pace really struggling now. Whatever the fault is in that engine is getting worse, as we can see. And his pace is dropping off. He might yet need to stop again as well. Some of these guys have been on those tyres for a while. The only thing we can do is look at the tyre history. I think Yuki may well need to make another stop. You have to say Isaac might need to make another stop as well. Same for Alonso. They did long stints on the mediums, very short stints on their first set of softs. I don't think they'll go to the end on those. Well, maybe they will. It's still 11 laps to go. I think we might see a flurry of late stops with just a couple of laps left. As Hamilton does get past Isaac. Isaac now down to 6th. Has he got enough pace left to kick on and go after Fernando? Gap up to 17 seconds now. Leclerc is now lapping comfortably a second a lap quicker than George. It's going to ease the tyres down for a couple of laps.
We need to do the full management on this set.
Let them drop down to around the cooling, the bottom of the window, around 110, 111 degrees.
What about tyres?
Give them a little breather for a couple of laps.
Not too bad.
I thought we'd finish somewhere around about 12th, 13th. Currently we're in 14th, but closing in on Antonelli, so we're on target for 13th. Maybe Ocon's tyres will fall away in the closing stages and we'll have a chance to go after him for 12th. Maybe we'll get a flurry of pit stops that will actually put us up into the points, and then we'll be hanging on as other cars come chasing back after us.
Remember, long way to go in this race.
And we are actually catching Antonelli hand over fist at the moment here. Gap now just 1.8 seconds. Norris already pushing towards the back of Perez, just 2.5 seconds the gap. Norris nearly new fastest lap for Lando Norris. He's flying at the moment. 131.8. Nearly 3 seconds quicker than us. 2.7 seconds quicker on that lap. Bortoletto's in for another stop. And this does kind of play into what I was saying, that we're going to see some stops in the last sort of 10 laps.
Long way to go.
But they're going to be putting on soft, and they're going to be quick.
Just pick up the pace.
Perez's tyres have just dipped. They'll come back up pretty quickly though. There we go. Just missed out on DRS and Antonelli. Norris will probably get it. It's going to be tight. Evening, Army.
There's progress to be made. Charge on. Copy.
It's going well tonight. We've had pretty decent pace, all things considered. Hulkenberg into the pits, so that's the other Audi driver coming in. Bortoletto stopping the lap before.
Okay for mode push.
Copy.
Decent stop. We've got an opportunity here on Antonelli into turn 11. Norris has an opportunity on Perez. Now we get alongside and we get through. Problem for Behrman as well.
Nice work. You are P13. Next car is Ocon.
Now we should be able to take a look here. Here we are then looking at turn 12.
Now you
It's
see,
there for the taking.
just nudging Antonelli off the track there.
That puts them in 13th place now.
No VSCs in this Grand Prix, no safety cars. We've had a couple of, yellows, but nothing serious.
He has DRS.
Couple of spins,
Yeah, copy.
couple of lockups, couple of little bits of wheel banging that hasn't resulted in a safety car. As Norris is through. But did he give us DRS on the exit? Yes, he did. Can we retake the place?
Continue like this.
No. It's the answer. Yeah, been a very uneventful race as far as the stewards have been concerned. The one collision that we did have was deemed a racing incident, I think. No penalties. Did kind of spoil Piastri's race. He had a slow stop when he had to change his front wing. we go. We have pulled enough of a gap to Antonelli now. See if Perez can
So deployed.
go with Nalando.
Copy.
So 7 laps to go, including this one.
13. So next car.
Leclerc now 19 seconds clear of George. Max in third. Not safe. Alonso is only a couple of seconds behind. Matching lap time wise. Hamilton probably safe in P5 now. He's pulled out 11 seconds to Isaac. He's coming under some pressure from Yuki Tsunoda. Let's cut to Checo.
Next car in front is Norris.
Piastri gets past Alex Albon. That puts him back up into ninth.
1.7.
The two Williams drivers look like they're about to do battle over the final point position.
Norris in front. Gap to him 1.7. Charge button on.
Copy.
And this is Tsunoda trying to get past Isaac.
Six laps to go.
Piastri and Gasly now very, very close. He's left the Williams drivers behind.
Race is long.
So Oscar trying to recover. Started in P2, did Oscar. There's a chance up the inside for Tsunoda. Can't quite get the car alongside. And he'll have a good chance now into turn one. Gets ahead in the braking zone. He'll have the DRS as well, I believe. And Piastri is through on Gasly and is already very close to the back of Hadjar.
This one.
Copy.
Piastri could yet spoil Tsunoda's afternoon. 6 will be the limit that they can go without something happening to one of the cars in front. And it would be so cruel if something were to steal this win away from Leclerc. If he had a puncture or if he crashed. I mean, I don't think he's likely to have a puncture. But if he were to crash, I think that would be heartbreaking. He's had such a flawless race.
Keep going.
He's been mighty today. Absolutely mighty. And Hadjar just running out of grip, I think, at the closing stages here. Dropping places very quickly. That little trip over the curb there through turn 11 allowed Gasly to get alongside, and he's through as well. And there's the two Williams drivers and Esteban Ocon in the background. Hadjar's pace seems to be really dropping away dramatically. Are we going to see a stop for anyone with a couple of laps to go? Yes, we are. Hadjar's tyres are done. Oh, what a shame for Isaac. He's had a good race today. is going to be very quick in the closing laps, but he's going to lose all that ground.
Four laps. Yeah, copy.
He's going to come out behind Checo, who's now up with Antonelli. So that is the P12 that I was kind of predicting for Valtteri. There may yet be another shock pit stop, but
you can.
I'm picking up some vibrations.
there we go. Through on the exit of turn 4. Perez up to 14th.
Good job. So in front we have Norris.
That'll be a great result for us here. I didn't know if we would have the pace for 12th and 14th going into the Grand Prix, especially after a poor qualifying with both drivers eliminated in Q1, but race pace on this car seems decent. You know, we don't overstress the tyres too much. We're not too aggressive with them, and it seems to pay off by undercutting those who are 3-stopping, but you can see there's a lot of cars here that haven't gone for the 3-stop. So as the grid continues to improve its cooling, it will become harder and harder for us to do this, to just kind of stay out and hold on.
2 laps to go at the end of this one. Copy that.
Don't think we're going to catch Norris unless his tyres have really given up after pushing them. We are a little bit quicker than him, but we had some DRS on that last lap. There is Hadjar steaming up to the back of Kimi Antonelli. And he was looking so good earlier, but that problem with his engine has really hurt him. Hamilton is there with Alonso. Still within touching distance of Verstappen, but they're not really close enough to have a look. Hadjar's tyres are still not in the optimal temperature window. 84 degrees there, 83 on the left rear. Now the left front as well, and well, all of them are 83 degrees, so he's not pushing them. In fact, dropping to 82.
One lap to go at the end of this one.
So into the final 2 laps.
And we need to push for these laps.
Turn the tyres up for the last 2 laps.
Copy.
I doubt we're going to be able to catch up with the guys in front, but
Push.
if something happens, I'd like to be within striking distance if one of them runs wide or spins, to see if we can maybe capitalise on that. Let's turn our attention to the battle of the Williams drivers. That late stop for Hadjar means that they are both now in the points. But they're going to fight for supremacy over who's going to get the extra one. And there you see us in the background. Got to be wary of Norris as well. He is closing in still on Valtteri. And Hadjar's going to be steaming up to the back of Perez. We may yet drop down to 13th and 15th. Leclerc's on his final lap. 23 seconds clear of George Russell. Max in 3rd. Hamilton and Alonso are wheel to wheel almost.
Confirming you're starting the last time lap.
Yeah, copy.
And Hadjar is all over the back of Perez into turn 1.
and you can use all the boost bar.
Copy.
Can we hang on for 14th? Leclerc has crossed the line. He wins very, very comfortably.
That's Leclerc. Charles Leclerc is today's winner. And there it is, a win for Charles Leclerc.
I don't think there was a single second of that race where they didn't believe they'd win it.
Absolutely majestic drive from the Ferrari driver today. He has been absolutely, head and shoulders above everybody else in a league of his own. It's been a really strong race for George, fighting his way through to finish in second place. Had to work hard to get any real progress in the first stint, but looked strong in the second stint and has been pretty comfortable here in his final stint. Max will settle for third. Alonso does manage to hold off Hamilton in the end. What about the battle between the Williams drivers? It looks like Albon's going to hang on. Valtteri's hanging on over Norris. Hadjar is really close. He's having a look around the outside, but he goes wide, and Perez will keep P14. That's an excellent result for us. Disappointing race in the end
so
for Hadjar. His tyres just couldn't quite make the two-stop work.
And checkered flag.
And Antonelli, who didn't have the best of qualifying, qualified 9th, had a penalty, dropped him down to 12th. Started to show some really strong pace, and then his engine just said no.
And after the checkered flag has flown, there's Nico Hülkenberg.
A dismal end. P20 with very little promise, it's got to be said.
And the Monegasque driver certainly proved his worth with a terrific drive today.
Their first win of the season, and the team looking on will be very proud, I'm sure.
And with that, the drivers finally get the chance to cool off and enjoy themselves. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there, though.
And that is about that for this weekend's action here in Bahrain.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
Well, there we go then. Confirmation of the final results. It is the fourth different winner from the opening 4 Grand Prix. Charles Leclerc on top, and very comfortably so in the end. George second, Verstappen third, Alonso in fourth. Another good result for Aston following their podium last night in Suzuka. Hamilton in fifth. Got off to a really good start, jumping Piastri off the line to take second into turn 1, and then just got held up after an early stop. So Hamilton not having the best of race, especially when you consider his pace compared to his teammate in the end, who finished so far ahead of him. Oscar in fourth, started second. Not a good weekend for Oscar. Caught up in that little collision with Arvin Lindblad, which meant he also had some wing damage for a while. Tsunoda up 7 places to take 7th place. Good race for him after a poor qualifying. Gasly as well, also up 7 places to take 8th. Some good points for him. The 2 Williams drivers can maybe feel a little disappointed. Albon starting 7th. We've seen him have some really strong pace this season. Just didn't seem to be there today. Locked in a fight with his teammate for a good chunk of the Grand Prix. But they do both finish in the points, 9th and 10th respectively. Then it is 11th place for Esteban Ocon, 12th place for Valtteri, 13th for Norris. Making the best of a poor qualifying as best he could, but still a disappointing result. Very disappointing result. That will cost him the lead in the championship. He will be nowhere near the lead of the championship now. Sergio Perez in 14th place. Good race for Checo as well, up 7 places after a bad qualifying for both of our drivers, but Checo in particular. Disappointment for Hadjar. Looked like he was on for some good points today and then just ran out of tyres. Had to make that last gas stop. Ended up settling for 15th. Antonelli, we've already talked about his engine problems today. He finished 16th. Colapinto 17th. Bortoletto 18th and lapped, along with Liam Lawson, Hulkenberg, Behrman, and yet another very disappointing race for Arvid Lindblad. He might not be on the grid next season. So in the driver's standings, Charles top on 72 points, is now 21 points clear as George moves up into second. Max up into third place on 48 points. Norris down into fourth, having not scored any. He's on 46 and is now 26 points away from Charles at the top of the standings, having been with just 1 point behind him going into today. Oscar up into down into 5th place, but now within just 3 points of his teammate. 10 points to Hamilton sees him keeping pace with the McLarens, but drifting away from his teammate, who has almost double his score already. Albon has 28 points in 7th, Tsunoda with 26, Alonso up 4 places to take 9th with 22. That drops Hulkenberg down into 10th. No points for him, he's on 14. No points for Valtteri or Kimi. They stay locked together in 11th and 12th with 12 points. Hadjar on 10 points. Gasly up a couple of places now into 14th on 7, overtaking Carlos Sainz, who also now has 7 points after his 10th place finish today. Then it is Liam Lawson with 4 points. Perez with a point in 17th. And then the non-scorers, Ocon moving above Ollie Behrman into 18th place. Colapinto 20th, 21st place for Bortoletto, who's had a disappointing start to his season. And Arvid Lindblad is 22nd. In the constructor standings, Ferrari go top over McLaren, and by 20 points as well. 35 points scored for Ferrari today, just 8 points scored for McLaren. Mercedes have closed the gap a little bit as well. They've taken 10 points out of McLaren, but they're still 26 points further back. Red Bull in 4th on 58. Aston up into 5th place on 48 points now. They are 13 clear of Williams, who dropped down into 6th place with 35 points. Audi have 14 points in 7th. Cadillac in 8th place with 13. Alpine moving above Racing Bulls. They are up now into 9th place on 7 points. Racing Bulls staying on 4 points in 10th now. Haas still yet to get off the mark. And let's take a look at the pit stops. Fastest stop of the day is Lando Norris's McLaren. The only McLaren in the top 10. Racing Bulls get 2nd and 6th. So some good points in this competition. Mercedes taking 3rd and 10th. We get 4th place for Cadillac with Checo's 2.3 stop. I think that's our quickest stop of the season. Red Bull taking 5th place. Audi getting some points in 7th. Alpine in 8th. Aston in 9th. Let's take a quick look. The slowest stop for the top 10 was Mercedes' George Russell with 2.459. And we weren't even close with Valtteri. His best stop, 2.6. Is that our best stop? Let's find out. McLaren are top by 9 points, overtaking Red Bull. They're up 2 places, actually, as Ferrari have slipped down to 4th. No points for Ferrari today, surprisingly. Actually, their stops look pretty decent. So Red Bull 2nd on 72 points. Then it's Racing Bulls 3rd on 66, Ferrari 4th, 63. Then things tighten up a little bit between Mercedes and Alpine, just 3 points between them. Mercedes on 38 in 5th, 6th place, and on 35 points is Alpine. Then a little gap to Audi, they're on 18. 14 points apiece now for Cadillac and Aston. We have just slipped ahead of the Silverstone outfit there. Williams with 2 points, Haas with a point, and 2.387. It was our quickest stop of the season. I thought it was. Both drivers finish in their sponsor objective or higher positions, so we do get a full payout, 945,000 and change added to our bank balance. Let's head back to HQ and start getting ready for Saudi Arabia. So as we return to HQ, we have an inbox that has the results of the regulation vote. Let's see. It will be low-speed downforce changes. So that was a tight vote, 6-5. McLaren, Red Bull, Mercedes, Audi, and Aston voting with us in voting for low-speed. Ferrari, Alpine, Williams, Haas, and Red Bull wanted high-speed changes, but it will be a 6-5 victory for the low-speed downforce changes for next season. Let's take a look at the post-race data. So our underfloor has failed on both cars, and the side pod has failed on Checo's car as well. We'll have to swap those parts out. Expected finish 21st and 22nd. We got 12th and 14th. This never seems to really tally the expected finish. I'm not sure what they're basing it on, but we always seem to do better than the expectations. So let's fix up the parts. Do I have a spare underfloor for Checo? I don't. Ooh, okay. We'll have to... we'll have to work on another one there. I've got a spare side pod. There we go. Well, I did. I don't anymore. Let's go into here and have a look. We're 6 days away from being able to start building the chassis. We're not working on underfloors, so we are definitely going to need to make a couple of those. How much money do we have? 4.4 mil. Let's make 2. Are we working on side pods? No, we're not. So we're going to need to build another couple of those as well. Yeah, let's go with 2 side pods. And we're down to 2.7 mil. We've got a slot available for the chassis in 6 days' time. Evening, Johnny. Goodbye, Johnny. Let's see, what else do we need to get done? We're 11 days away from Jeddah. Let's check in with our affiliates. So, very happy indeed to get a run out in FP1 there was Logan. Happy to be getting mentored. Not happy with his salary. He is on just $500,000. So, yeah, I can understand why he's a little miffed about that, but it is what it is. Let's see. Crawford also, I think, on the same salary. He's also a little miserable about his salary. He wasn't happy with his F2 racing either, unfortunately. We'll have to see how he did. Let's see. Very, very happy with participating in practice. Very, very happy with his mentoring as well. I am curious as to whether they're getting mentored by a specific driver or if it's just that's just regarding sim work. I don't know. Really don't know. So that's what he's looking like at the moment. Main drivers. Unhappy that he missed practice, but happy with everything else. He's in neutral at the moment. No negatives at all in terms of team performance recently. But very, very unhappy with car performance. Although happy that we have started an upgrade on the facility. I think that's our... What is that that's going through right now? That must be recent. That must have been the memorabilia room, I think. Because we haven't had an upgrade going through for a little while. Let's check these actually while we're here. Check the condition. Everything looks okay. Yeah. Let's finally go ahead and get an upgrade in on the helipad before I forget and we run out of money again. There we go. And that'll be ready just in time for Jeddah. Nothing wearing out too quickly. That's good. We are still 6 days away or so from getting that chassis done. So let's advance time. Okay, so Valtteri positive overall. Both drivers very unhappy with car performance. I'm guessing that's going to be the big theme running throughout the team. Yes, it is. Working on it as best I can, guys. Don't have a cow. Right. Just a warning on a low suspension stock. Yep. Can't do much about that. But we can start building the Mark II chassis. Let's just build 3 of them. Let's not go completely overboard, because I want to have a little bit of cash just in case something happens. It's not a lot, but it's something. There we go. Our helipad is now level 4. That might give us a tiny little bit of extra money at the end of the season, or at the end of each race. Sorry. Yeah, it'll increase by 1%, but it's going to be negligible. We're being recommended Taylor Barnard. Currently not signed with anybody, apparently, as well. Oh, no, he is. He's signed with McLaren. Out of contract at the end of the season. My scouts are unavailable. They must be being used. This is the current driver rankings. Max top with 93. Charles and Lewis on 90 each. Oscar on 89, just ahead of Lando. George on 88. Alonso down to 87 now. He's out of contract at the end of the season. Very curious as to whether he'll be re-signed. Then it's Sainz, Gasly, Antonelli, Albon, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Ocon, Valtteri, Perez, Bortoletto, Hadjar, Behrman, Schumacher, Lawson and Schumacher. As you can see, Mick is tied to Alpine at the moment, which is why I'm surprised that he lost his number to Théo Pourchaire. We'll have to dig into that. Lindblad in down here on 79, just ahead of Colapinto. There's Jack Doohan. Still signed with Alpine, but for how much longer I want. He's got another year left on his deal after this one. But will he degrade after this? I don't know. There's Pourchaire in the Williams Academy. Stroll out of contract. 78 overall. I did nerf his stats a little bit, especially his wet weather performance. Then we have Magnussen out of contract. And Daniel Ricciardo down here, 36 years old. Don't know if we'll see him reappear. Iwasa is not under contract at the moment. I might have to go into the editor if he doesn't get picked up and move him over to Aston for storyline purposes. Maloney and Zhou out of contract. Zhou no longer associated with Ferrari. Might have to do something about that as well. Right. Move up one more day. There we go. So, going to be hot, so our tyres could easily overheat and wear faster. There we go, 25, 27, 31 degrees on race day. Yeah, it's quite warm for the middle of the night. Cloud but sun. Don't think we'll have issues trying to keep the tyres in the temperature window in terms of, you know, being too cool. We might struggle to stop them from overheating, potentially. At Jeddah. That'll be tomorrow night's race to round out the week. Will we see a 5th different winner? We've had 4 separate winners from each of the Grand Prix so far. There's the podium from Melbourne, Norris from Verstappen and Albon. It was Russell from Leclerc and Norris in China. Piastri from Leclerc and Tsunoda in Suzuka. Fantastic podium for Yuki at his home race and Honda's home race as well. And there's tonight's podium. Leclerc from Russell and Verstappen. So, who will be on top in the next race at Jeddah? will Max finally get his win? He was leading until the very last lap for pretty much the entire race at Melbourne, and then Norris dive-bombed him into turn 1 on the final lap. That would be interesting to see if Max can actually get his win at Jeddah and make it 5 different winners from the opening 5 races. And then when we come back next week on Monday, we'll have potential wet race, chance of rain 26%, or at least some rain over the weekend, and our second sprint of the season as we go to Miami. Followed up immediately by a sprint in Canada as well. I think it's a sprint in Canada, isn't it? Yes, it is. Canada's a sprint this year. So, yeah, let's see what happens, shall we? Tomorrow could be a very interesting Grand Prix again. Different characteristic of circuit. Again, probably not going to favour us. We might do worse there than we did tonight, simply because of the speed differential. It's such a fast circuit. And downforce for the corners, the sweeping corners, is kind of important. We're not exactly what you would call good in any of those areas. So I think our biggest chance of gaining some places will be, again, through clever pit stops versus potentially a very aggressive AI. That is going to be the usual start time tomorrow, 8 p.m. Hopefully I will see you there. If you have enjoyed tonight's race, then a thumbs up would be much appreciated. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then why not consider hitting that subscribe button as well? And be sure to hit the bell to get notifications as to when each of the live streams actually go live. Until then, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob. Share the video, and I will see you all with some more F1 Manager very soon.